Hi everyone, hello. Welcome to another video of enhancement in food production. Up till now, we were discussing how we can enhance food or improve food in the category of plant breeding, then animal breeding. Now we will be touching upon the microorganisms in human welfare. We all know that biotechnology is one of the application wherein you can scientifically engineer microorganism and exploit them for your desired outcomes. Okay. So there are a variety of microorganisms which like algae, bacteria, viruses, protozoa, etc. Their products are very, very beneficial. Okay. Some can be used as food sources, some can be used as nutrition supplements, some can be used for medicinal properties, vaccine production, etc. etc. Okay. So these organisms that we are going to see in this video, many of these organisms, they are widely used in food and feed technology industry. Then they are also using waste utilization and energy, etc., etc. Okay, so the in this video we will be mostly talking about the microorganisms in different setup like the food preparation, then industrial use, and in production of dairy products, etc. So beginning with microbes in food production, okay. Traditionally, we know that some of the microorganisms that are used to make dahi, yogurt out of milk, to make cheese, okay, out of milk. Okay, so these are basically, traditional biotechnology, which is based on fermentation technique. Yes, when in overnight, let's say you want to make idli dosa batter, you allow the batter to puff and produce carbon dioxide and the characteristic flavor and texture of the batter. So this is all based on biotechnology principle by using fermenting bacteria. Okay, so these were used in preparation in variety of indigenous fermented food products. So one of the categories is because of the use of this lactic acid bacteria, which is very important in conversion of milk to curd. So what this bacteria does is it produces acids that will coagulate the lactose sugar which is present in the milk. It will utilize the lactose sugar and it will convert the milk into lactic acid, and it will curdle the milk. Okay, it partially digests the milk proteins. So a small amount of curd, which will have this lactic acid bacteria, can convert the fresh milk into curd. Okay, another significant advantage is that this curd is very rich in vitamin B12. In your intestinal system, in your digestive system, lactic acid bacteria is very, very important in maintaining good bacteria. It helps to keep the pathogens away or keep them in very low number. So if there is good amount of this good bacteria known as lactobacillus, chances of, digestive problem occurring is very, very low. Okay, then another aspect of microorganism is fermentation, wherein fermentation of the dough of idli, dosa, batter, etc. can be used. Okay, the puffed up appearance of the dough is because of the production of the carbon dioxide by the gas. Okay, they give this characteristic flavor and texture to the dough. Then also baker's yeast. This is one of the most commonly used microorganism in bakery products. Okay, so it is used to make breads, different types of cakes, etc. by fermenting the dough. So these are some of the microorganisms or application of microorganisms in the food sector. Then microorganisms are also used to ferment fish. Then you have soya bean. Then you have bamboo shoots to make foods, etc., etc. Okay, so you see there are many of these microorganisms which are very important in making, these food items which are very tasty, and they have this characteristic flavor because of the contents, because of the substance that these microorganisms release in the food. Another is cheese production. Okay, so to produce different types of cheese, there are variety of cheese which are available, and these different cheese are basically because of the different type of microorganism bacteria that are used to make the cheese. So different bacteria will give you different types of not bacteria always, but certain microorganism will give different flavor and texture to the cheeses. Okay, so we all know what happens in cheese. The milk is coagulated with lactic acid bacteria, and the curd is formed, is filtered, and then the whey is separated, and the solid mass is then, try to they keep it for certain period of time, which is known as ripening of the cheese. Okay, and then you allow the growth of the mold that will develop on the cheese, and this imparts a specific characteristic flavor to the cheese. Okay, so you have the Roquefort cheese, you have the Camembert cheese, which are arrived by the help of this blue-green molds known as Penicillium roqueforti and Camberberti respectively. So also you have these Swiss cheese. So this Swiss cheese, you have large holes in this cheese. This is because of the carbon dioxide which is produced by a bacteria known as Propionibacterium shermani. So this bacteria is used in production of Swiss cheese, one of the most commonly and delicious cheese. So they impart a very tasty flavor to this cheese. Okay. And this Roquefort cheese is grown by a specific fungus which give a particular flavor. Okay. So this is another sector of microorganisms used in food industry. Then moving to the role of microorganism in industrial products. Okay, these microorganisms are used for growing beverages, for producing antibiotics. Okay, on a very large scale. So big fermenters are used. Microorganisms are then inoculated, and a variety of products, enzymes, antibiotics, beverages, vitamins, organic acids are produced using microorganisms. So what is happening? Basically, you are enhancing food production by the use of microorganisms. One of the very most commonly used is brewer's yeast. It is used to ferment malted cereals and fruit juices to produce alcohol, that is ethanol. So the cereals like barley, then grapes, etc., fruit juices are used as raw material. You ferment them, and then what is produced? Alcohol is produced by this microorganism, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, so one of the industrial product. So wine, beer, these are produced without distillation with the help of microorganism. Then you have whiskey, brandy, rum. They are produced by distillation of fermented broth. So the different techniques are given. All this is produced with the help of different microorganisms, giving different flavor and texture to these beverages. Okay. Then these are some of the antibiotics that are produced by use of microorganism, okay, which are very useful in treatment of diseases. So you have all these list of microorganisms which produce all these antibiotics which are used by human for human welfare. So you have Cephalosporum acrimonium, which gives antibiotic cephalosporin. Then you have penicillin, which gives you penicillin and grysofolvin. Then you have Streptomyces griseus, giving you antibiotic streptomycin. So you need to remember all this. Yes. So chemical substances which are produced by some microorganisms, they can kill or retard the growth of other disease-causing microorganisms. Basically, certain these microorganisms which produce antibiotic, they produce it for their own benefit. They produce these chemical substances so that other microorganisms, other bacteria in the neighborhood, they do not grow and invade their, their what do you say, territory. So to keep them away or to kill them, they produce these antibiotics. Okay, and these antibiotics are used by humans for treatment of various diseases. They will help in killing other microorganisms. Okay, so if an infection is there in humans, you have specific antibiotics for specific diseases. So it is used to treat plague, whooping cough, diphtheria, leprosy. Many diseases are treated with use of antibiotics, and these antibiotics can be produced by microorganism on a larger scale. You can cultivate these microorganisms on a larger scale. They will produce these antibiotics. You will separate the antibiotics from the organism, purify it, and filter it, and all those processing techniques, and you can then commercialize it. So here are some of the examples of the antibiotic. Then certain industrial products like acids, okay, like citric acid, acetic acid, butyric acid, lactic acid. These are some of the acids which are produced at industrial level, and all these acids are used in industrial products like production of drinks, production of toffees, chocolate, as mineral supplements. For calcium, iron, all these organic acids are used, which can be produced by different kinds of micro organisms. So this is also another way of using microorganisms at a larger scale for enhancement in food, or as having a role in human welfare. Okay. So you have to memorize some of these examples, a microorganism producing different acids and where these acids are finding its application in. Okay, so that's all with respect to the microbes which are used in industrial and food production, or basically food enhancement. And now in the next video, we will be talking about the use of microorganisms in sewage treatment. Okay, so keep revising, take care, see you in the next